Hello, everybody. So I wanted to do a video just going over the steps to the scientist research project. Since it's your first major assignment, I kind of want to go over everything. And if you have any questions after the video, you can always send me a message. I'm happy to go in more detail or meet with you, whatever you need to be able to do this project successfully. So one thing, you should have already done the MLA worksheet in chapter 1. Okay, and then you should have hopefully started on the science around the worksheet on page 8, right? Because that you should be doing as you're going through the activities of the chapter pages. Okay, so if you haven't started or opened up that worksheet, do that now and make sure you're all caught up. But I want to go over this project. So your final, what you're submitting is an essay. Okay, so here are the directions. So you need to pick 3 scientists. They don't have to have anything in common. Okay, it could be any 3 famous or important scientists. Okay, you need to research them, and each scientist needs to have 2 sources each. Okay, so when you're done, your essay should have at least 6 citations. Okay, so 2 sources for each scientist. That's just backing up the information that you've learned. Okay, so you have 2 sources that support, and you might need 2 to find what you need for the essay. So what I did want to go over, if you haven't checked out page 4, hopefully you have. Okay, but page 4, okay, these are reliable sources you can use. There's some great links here. They're all lists of kind of famous scientists. You'll see some scientists show up on all the lists, but I tried to pick lists that had a variety. So this one is just a massive list. Okay, the rest of them kind of give a little blurb about the scientist, kind of what they did, when they lived, who they were. But this one is just honestly a massive list, but you can sort by, if you wanted to famous biologists or whatever you can think of, okay? You can sort by the science. There's also, if you want to learn more, quite a few brain pop videos. You don't have to watch them all. Remember, you're picking 3. Okay, the brain pop can be one of your sources. Okay, if you're using the list and it gives a little blurb and kind of background, that could be one of your sources. You're going to need to go and find more sources. So again, 2 sources per scientist, but again, great place to start are the lists here. You can watch the brain pop videos, see if they're interesting, what they did. And there's a variety here of all different types of scientists, newer scientists, older scientists. Okay, there's a mix here. You should be able to click here and watch the video. If you don't have a brain pop account yet, the school has one. So you just need the school code. So if you go back into the introduction, it's under the science link page. Or if you can't find that, send me a message. I'm happy to set you up. So make sure that you're signed in for that. Okay, so let's go over the requirements for the essay. Okay. Again, I'm just getting 2 sources for each scientist. So 6 sources in MLA format. If you're still struggling with this, let me know. I can send you a format to help you out, but they do need to be in MLA form. Okay, so there's 3 main things you're going to look at. First one is you're going to compare and contrast. So what did your scientists have in common? What was different? So you're going to look at their background. Okay, and you can pick any 3 things in their background to look at. But where did they live? Well, when did they live? Ethnicity, gender. What were their interests? Were they interested in science young? Did their family support them? Was their education level? Okay, how easy was it for them to be a scientist? Okay, any factor in their background. So you're just looking at 3 different factors and comparing and contrasting your scientists. Okay, depending on your scientist, it could be very different, but you might be able to find some things in common. Okay, so you just want to look at least 3 factors comparing all 3 scientists. Okay. The next section is the scientific work highlights. So some of these scientists have done a lot. Okay, so you don't have to do everything, kind of like the highlights. What are they known for? Okay, how did they impact the world or their field of science? Okay, and then if they were involved in any theories, laws, equations. Okay, that's what you wanted that. And you just want to talk about each scientist. So you don't have to compare and contrast like you did in the background. You're just kind of, in your own words, saying what were their main highlights and what were their impacts. Okay, last section is more on your opinion. So you've learned more about your 3 scientists. Okay, so in your opinion, should they be on those lists? Okay, for the famous important scientists? Okay, do you think their impact was large enough on the scientific community or the world? Okay, and explain your reasoning. Again, you're doing this for each scientist. Okay, so total, okay, your essay should have at least 3 paragraphs. Now, remember, for your paragraph, you should have at least 1 topic sentence. And at minimum, and we're going to go with at minimum, okay, 2 supporting sentences for that topic sentence. So your paragraph should not be any shorter than 3 sentences, right? 1 topic and 2 supporting. Okay, but there's a lot in each of these sections. So again, that's the minimum. Okay, you can go more than that. If you need to do more than 1 paragraph for the background, that's fine. You can go over 3 paragraphs. So you're just minimum that you need to meet is 3 paragraphs. So I will be figuring out how to attach, but if you don't see them, I did kind of just research graphics you could use. If you do want these, you can send me a message, but they're just in Google Slides. So you could type, as you're doing your research, you could type right in them, it's really quickly where's your source. So if you're looking at scientist 1, what's their background, scientific work, impacts, from your different sources. I just put 3 here. Again, you only need 2, but 3 is always better. Okay, so you could do that. You could do, what they have in common, what's different. Go for the backgrounds. If you're having issues with the MLA citations and keeping track of information, right? If you find a source, you paste their article title, your publisher sponsor, the URL, publication date, if it's got that information, right? So you can just use that information to write the MLA citation. So again, if you would like these and you don't see them attached, okay, just send me a message and I can send you your own Google slide link and you can type right in these. Or if you use PowerPoint or you like it in Word, Google Doc, let me know. I'm happy to convert it for you. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. A great place to start. Oops, is on page 4, not page 3, page 4. There we go. Okay, is these lists. So again, you need 3 scientists. Okay, they don't have to be all in the same type of science. They don't all have to be long dead scientists. They can be living scientists. There's a few in this list. They can be really old, current, male, female, from anywhere you can find in the world. And you get a pick. That's who is interesting to you, who do you want to research. And again, here's all the brain pops, but you're not just limited to this. This is just how many they happen to have. They're always adding more, but apparently that's what they have. But again, there's way more names on these lists. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Again, you can see the core requirements down here. So it's 30 points for each A, B, and C. So did you answer background? Did you compare at least 3 factors? Comparing, contrasting the 3 scientists. And then did you give the scientific work highlights for each scientist and then your opinion? And they should be on the famous, important scientist list, and your reasoning. Make sure you put in your reasoning. You can't just be a yes. You need to explain why. Again, correct spelling and grammar. Check the spelling and grammar check depending on what programs you're using. Correct length. Remember, at least these 3 paragraphs. At least the 6 sources included. And cited in MLA. This is a large chunk if you don't have it. If you need help with MLA, if you're not sure how to cite, if you're not sure where to find information, send me a message. I have a couple help videos, but I can also jump into a quick office hour and we can go over it together. So hopefully that helps. Again, if you have any questions, just send me a message.